It all started in June 2017. 8 researchers at Google publish a paper called Attention is All You Need. It introduces something called the transformer, a new way to process language. Instead of reading a sentence word by word, it looks at the whole sentence at once and decides what matters. That one idea is now running underneath almost every major AI system on Earth: GPT, Gemini, Claude, Llama. In fact, the T in ChatGPT stands for transformer. Google owned this. Google published it. Google's own engineers built it. But within a few years, every single author of that paper had left the company. Not fired. Left. On their own terms, one by one, to go build the technology somewhere else. So here's the question worth asking. How does the company that invented the most important idea in modern computing end up losing the race it started? Let's start with the 8 names on that paper. Ashish Vaswani, Noam Shazir, Nikki Parmar, Jakub Uskerit, Leon Jones, Aidan Gomez, Lucas Kaiser, Ilya Sutskever. Every one of them left Google. Aidan Gomez co-founded Cohere, now a major enterprise AI company. Noam Shazir left to build a chatbot startup that became Character.AI. Ashish Vaswani and Nikki Parmar left together, founded Adept, then founded Essential AI. Leon Jones went to Tokyo and started Sakana AI. Ilya Sutskever pivoted into blockchain and built Near. Lucas Kaiser went straight to a lab called OpenAI. 8 authors, 6 companies, almost none of them still at Google. Now widen the frame. Around the same period, a different Google researcher, Ilya Sutskever, walks away too. Not to compete on a paper, to co-found a non-profit lab from scratch. The lab is called OpenAI. Google didn't just lose the authors of its own breakthrough paper. It was quietly handing the scientists behind that breakthrough straight to the labs that would go on to beat it. But Sutskever didn't walk into an empty lab. That lab already existed, and it existed because of Google. 2 years earlier, in 2015, Elon Musk and Sam Altman had watched Google pull further and further ahead in AI, and it worried them enough to act. So they pulled together a small group to build a counterweight. Sutskever was already tied to that group. So was a young researcher named Dario Amodei. They called it OpenAI. For years, it barely registered. GPT-2 came out, then GPT-3. Researchers cared. Almost nobody else did. Then, November 30th, 2022, OpenAI shipped a chat interface it barely marketed. ChatGPT. 100 million users in 2 months. Nothing had ever grown that fast. And Google, the company that built the underlying technology years before any of this, suddenly looked like it was playing catch-up to its own idea. It rushed out a demo for its own chatbot, Bard, got a fact wrong on stage, and watched billions come off its stock before the day was even over. The lab built to stop Google from running away with this had just done the one thing Google itself never pulled off. That win over Google didn't settle anything inside OpenAI. If anything, it's around here that things start coming apart from within. Dario Amodei, the same researcher who'd helped build GPT-2 and GPT-3, ends up in a serious disagreement with Sam Altman over safety and control. He leaves, and doesn't leave alone. He takes a group of OpenAI's own researchers with him and founds a direct competitor. The name is Anthropic. Then, November 2023, Sam Altman is fired by his own board. Ilya Sutskever, the same man who helped found the company, is one of the people involved in pushing him out. It lasts 5 days before Altman is back, and most of the public never gets a straight answer for why it happened. On top of that, Elon Musk, the man who helped start OpenAI to keep Google in check, ends up suing the company he co-founded. A court dismisses the case in 2026. What started as one lab built to check Google's power has fractured into open warfare between people who used to sit in the same room. By this point, it's easy to watch all that infighting and think the real danger for these companies is each other. But the next event makes clear the threat was never just internal. January 2025. A relatively unknown startup out of China, DeepSeek, releases a model that matches the best labs in Silicon Valley, reportedly for a fraction of the cost. In a single day, it wipes out more market value than almost any stock event in history. The lesson is blunt. Even the labs currently winning this race are one release away from becoming the next Google. One name closes the loop. Noam Shazir, one of the original 8 authors, left Google in 2021 to build Character.AI. Google paid a reported $2.7 billion in 2024 just to bring him back. He stayed under 2 years. In June 2026, he left Google again, this time for OpenAI. Google spent billions to rehire the man who helped write the paper that started all of this and still couldn't keep him. So here's where it stands today. OpenAI and Anthropic are both racing toward IPOs that could value them near $1 trillion each. Musk's xAI is already public, folded into SpaceX after a merger earlier this year. Google is still fighting to claw back ground with Gemini. One paper, one company. 8 authors who left. The technology that was supposed to belong to Google now belongs to everyone who used to work there.